And the rational self is one where you discover that things are true and false independently of what other people think is true and false. Your beliefs only mean that somebody has put something into you. Before you have this rational agency, your opinions don't actually matter, right? Because they're just a reflection of the opinions that you assimilated from your environment.
If we move forward, like, what is self-authoring then?
At stage 4, you discover rationality. At stage 5, you discover identity. You discover where your values are coming from.
Your authentic values, not the values that your parents imposed or society imposed, but the values that you developed based on your experience.
Yes, you discover the aesthetics of the individual psychology. And if you are a very good therapist, you need to be able to do that. You can actually learn to construct and adapt your identity and understand that your identity is something like a costume that allows you to navigate the world, and it's not something that is automatically given and immutable. And according to Robert Kegan, 15% of the people get to the rational stage, and less than 1% get to this stage where they can transform their identity. And when you understand that this is not necessarily what you are, but these are stories that you tell about yourself, you get degrees of freedom that are very useful, that don't necessarily make you psychopathic, but that give you the ability to integrate yourself and to integrate with your environment at a much deeper level, to make behaviors that before were unconditional, conditional on understanding. So maybe let's walk through 6 and 7 quickly. Right, what Kegan doesn't describe is the state that goes much further than the deconstruction of, for instance, your politics and your biography and the identity that emerges over it, but that you can also change your own source code. Right? If you are a monk who seriously sits in the cell for 20 years, you can change your self-concept in a very radical way. You can basically become something else. Maybe you can implement gods on your mind, so you're not alone. Maybe you can create split personalities. You can rewrite yourself in a way. And when you become aware of the fact that you're not necessarily given in the way in which you are, but that you can modify the way in which reality is constructed in your own mind, and which your personality is constructed in your mind, you can move far beyond the stage of wisdom that Robert Kegan describes as stage number 5. And you become, for instance, a guru if you want to, or you become some inhuman creature. But it's still within the human range. And the stage number 7 is something that's outside of the human range. It's basically when you can fully edit your own source code, when you can change the substrate that you run on. And for this, you probably need to be an AI. Or maybe you are some voodoo practitioner who manages to survive the death of their own body by somehow migrating the core of your consciousness in your environment, infesting other people or whatever.